All right, so we back. Day two. Today we're talking about the worst albums all year. Um, there were a lot of EPs that dropped this year, so it's not as many albums, but there still are a lot. And I know that there are some albums that people are gonna like, that I might say. Um, a lot of the albums that I'm gonna bring up aren't so much like just horrible music, but it's just either mediocre or the expectations were extremely high and the artist underdelivered like to the best of their ability. Complete underdelivery. And we just can't stand for those here. I'm sorry. Okay? So we're gonna start with Shrim Life. Shrim for life, bro. Shrim Life 4. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, this album, if you have not heard it, do not go listen to it. If you're a fan of Ray Shrimmer, stop being a fan. It's over for you. It's over for you. It's over for the homies. Don't ever listen to them ever again. And I hate to have to say that. I never want to say that to a fan. Stop listening to the artists you listen to because they suck. I never want to say that. But Shrim for Life is easily, when you listen to the album or you know what I'm saying, even just listen to one song. Throughout that album, there is a reoccurring problem. Neither Slim Jimmy or Sway Lee sound comfortable or even sound like they used to make music together. There is no like synergy between the two. And I get that Sway Lee went on like his little individual run and he kind of went and did his own thing. I get that, right? We applaud Sway Lee for that because he went crazy. And a lot of the times before, we were saying that Slim Jimmy was holding him back from being a real vocalist or holding him back for really, from really taking over the songs. Then he went on his solo run and we were like, damn, Sway Lee going crazy. What's going on? Now, obviously, we overhyped the shit out of it because he was doing decent, but he wasn't going as crazy as people was making it out to be. But when you put them side by side again, it just seems like Slim Jimmy personally is envious of what Sway Lee was able to accomplish on his own and, kind of what he developed into without the, pushback or, being held back by Slim. And I feel bad because it's kind of like he left him behind. Like, okay, we got to this point, but I see what the fans are saying, so I'm going to go do my thing. And I'm going to leave you back here. I'm going to just leave the Ray Shrimmer thing alone. I'm going to just go do this. And I don't know if Slim Jimmy at the time didn't want to rap for real or he didn't, they just didn't want to be a part of it. But they weren't around that long, bro. They were looking like the best duo. Well, I mean, there weren't many duos, but they were looking like, a top tier duo. And then Sway Lee was just like, I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Shrim for Life is literally, you know how in movies when they just bring characters back like on like some nostalgia shit? That's basically what that album was. That album had no synergy at all. Horrible production. Like, not horrible, but like very, no, it was shit. The production sucked. The beat selections were trash. Reused flows. The recreation of a spark that isn't gonna happen. Like, it's played out, bro. And I feel bad. I really do. I guess the next album we can talk about is Hope, the NF album. I never thought I'd listen to a YouTube album ever. And it dropped, and when it dropped, I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time to try to listen to this. Like, what's the point? It's an NF album. Why would I listen to an NF album? I'm not taking you serious. I'm not taking any YouTube rapper serious. No. That's the same dudes that be in Twitter threads spamming their music, talking about I'm next up. Buddy, next up, you're not even on the roster, buddy. You didn't even get to fill out registration. What are you talking about next up? What? Most YouTube rappers are corny. They ain't saying shit. And most of them do that same YouTube trope where they're on their albums or they're in their songs preaching about the gospel, or in their songs talking about how they're better than every other rapper in the industry, and the industry don't fuck with them. That's exactly what this album was. The cringiest shit I've ever had to listen to. I swear. And I kind of like Lil Dicky. I thought Lil Dicky was the cringiest. I did. It's not Lil Dicky. And it's not Young Gravy. I thought it was Young Gravy. It ain't even Young Gravy. It's this nigga, NF. I get you went on this weird growth from, doing the fuckery, the bullshit, the pressure shit, drinking, whatever you was on, to this whole godlike, I'm here, look at me, I'm preaching positivity to you, woohoo. Okay, cool. But when you're making an album, and the whole album is you talking about, I'm the best, the industry don't respect me, they don't see me for what I am, they don't want real word, they want the guns, the drugs, the drinks, the women, I don't rap about none of that, I'm different. Okay, as a person in the hip-hop space, I agree with you. We are over that, okay? But as a rapper yourself, it's corny, and you look like a cornball when you spend a long amount of time, whether that be just an album or some years of you just chatting, right? Of you trashing, shut up speaker, of you trashing other people and the way they carry themselves and the way they put out music. That music sells. What you do doesn't. And I get that that's the problem, but it's completely fucking corny of you to do that for a whole album, and you expect me to be invested and be like, hell yeah. I'm gonna be honest, that's my biggest problem with the YouTube rappers. That's all y'all do, bro. That's all y'all do is complain. Why do y'all constantly complain? Y'all constantly, no one's showing me love, no one's respecting me, what is this, what's going on? The people in the underground ain't doing that shit. Okay, they are, but not as much. Or they are, but they're not voicing it anywhere. You don't see it being spammed on Twitter and shit. Y'all spamming it on Twitter, IG, all kind of stuff. Love me. Shut up. Make fucking music. Make good music. It's just weird. Pink Tape. Uzi, I don't know what is going on with you, but now I know a lot of people say your last two albums are mid. I'm a Uzi fan. Eternal Take was valid. I don't know what y'all talking about at all. And really, the only people that I be seeing say that is like the lyrical heads. Oh, Eternal Take sucked. Okay, buddy. Whatever. Pink Tape sucked. I can 100% agree with y'all. The red and white tape, that shit sucked too. Except for fun. That shit goes. The whole Eternal Take suck thing, I can't go. Mid, I can't go. That shit was valid. And the deluxe was even crazier. Right? You said you were like experimenting. I get that. Experiment. You did the same BS that somebody else on the list did. We're going to get to it later. You made the fans think you were giving us something of old. An older Uzi. And I know that's kind of selfish of music fans all the time. Is we expect somebody to give us old vibes, old energy, the old them. And most of the time they can't. They've either gone through growth or they've gone through something in their life that pushed them away from that sound or made them look for a new sound. I get that 100%. But we thought we were getting Love is Rage Uzi, the old Uzi, Purple Dreads Uzi. Okay? But not only did you not give us that, you didn't even give us music worth returning to. Because you experimented. I'm so over people using that word experiment when the whole premise of your experiment is you just throwing a bunch of sounds and instrumentals and fucking samples together and praying one of those songs hits the market and goes crazy. Just Wanna Rock was the song that went crazy for you this year. Nothing else you put out went crazy. Flooded the Face is hard. Pluto to Mars is hard. Some of your stuff was going crazy. Right? But none of it was even close to Just Wanna Rock. Your TikTok hit. When you experimented with just a bunch of stuff. You didn't choose one thing to experiment with. The Chop Suey thing, what the hell is that? What is that? The werewolf song? What the hell is that? I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what these labels are telling these artists to do. But we are at a point now where y'all are just like, man, something might work. Ain't none of that shit work, Uzi. Don't do that again. Ever again. I'm so over labels doing this. I'm so over the artists doing this. Next year cannot be the same way, or I promise you, niggas will start running the country music, and they will not have a problem. I promise they won't. Or they will start running the pop music. You will see everybody listening to nothing but Pink Panthers, fucking Taylor Swift, and a couple of cowboys. We over this shit, bro. This shit gotta stop, gang. The next one, I don't fully understand. I listened to the whole thing, and I just want to let y'all know right now, Destroy Lonely's ass. Destroy Lonely's ass. If looks could kill what? Now, obviously, people gonna say I'm hating. I'm not hating. I don't need to hear Playboy Cardi Offspring. Why do I want to hear that? Why do I want to hear Yeet? Why do I want to hear Ken Carson or Sofago? Why do I want to hear that? Why do I want to hear any of these niggas? They all sound the same. They all do the same thing. Every one of them. Destroy Lonely is probably the worst out of all of them. He's the worst. And I'm supposed to believe what? That he has talent? Bro, that whole album, nigga, I turned the album on and I was cleaning. At no point did the album hit for me. At no point. There's not a single song that I was like, this the one right here. This the one. Destroy Lonely is trash. He's actually ass. And I'm over the whole rage scene, hyping up every one of these dudes. Yeah, man. Woo. Lone, man. Y'all gonna be lonely listening to this dude. I promise. Jackman, you dropped another album after Come Home, The Kids Miss You. That was, yes, better than the predecessor, but not even close to being a banger. Like, I did a reaction to it, and it sounded cool. Then again, I don't know what headspace I was in, but it sounded cool. I've re-listened to it 3 times since. There are 2 songs on there that are okay. The most forced music to come out of Jack Harlow's catalog. That album is Jack Harlow dead ass the whole time. You're doing the same trope that the YouTube guys are doing. Man, the industry don't fuck with me, man. You start the album off good saying I can't live up to Drake. I can't be his successor. They saying I don't write good enough. I make music for the women. I don't make good enough music. My shit sucks. All this. You addressing everybody. And then you randomly give me Gang Gang Gang. And like a bunch of other like songs that are just out of left field. The album was starting to sound like you was finna get deep. Like you was finna be talking about something. And then you listen to the music. You listen to the album again. You go through the lyrics and you realize bro ain't saying nothing. At all. Why am I listening to this and you ain't saying shit? Then we got Trippie Redd's Mansion Music. I understand, and I have to preference this because I have to say it. The entire album Mansion Music were songs that were leaked years ago. They have been leaked songs. Most of the songs on the project were leaked years ago. Years in advance. So people knew what to expect. But what Trippie did, right, and what Chief Keef did, was they assumed people cared about those things, about those songs, or wanted to hear them being released, or Trippie just saw how much they were getting streamed or how much they were getting played on SoundCloud and thought to himself, damn, I should put them in an album. And there might also be some original stuff on there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was all leaked stuff. Most of it's leaked, I think. Chief Keef produced that album, not for you, but for himself. That album was Chief Keef, produced by Chief Keef. That was not an album produced for Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd doesn't sound like he belongs on any one of those beats. None of them. It sounds like he was just in the studio, Chief Keef played some shit, and out of respect, he was like, cool, yeah. He just said yeah to every beat. The features were trash. Every feature on the album was trash. The beats were trash. Chief Keef was trash. His production is one-dimensional. It's all Chicago drill hood nigga shit. And Trippie Redd's forcing his vocals and forcing all this different, like, bro. Nothing stuck. Nothing stayed. It was a joke. That is the worst album this year. Without a doubt, the worst album this year. Simply for the fact that after the second song, it's all unlistenable immediately. There's a stretch from song 1 to song 8 where they sound exactly the fucking same. And you want me to what? Stream that shit? If y'all want better Trippie music from this year, go listen to the St. Michael EP. That was hard. That was hard. Everything else Trippie has put out this year, trash. Don't even waste your time. Please don't. I wanted to talk about the Lil Pump album. I'm not going to. It's Lil fucking Pump. Stop. I would have talked about Pink Friday too. I've already eviscerated Nicki Minaj. I'm not going to speak on her again. Okay? I'm not going to talk about the Doja Cat album. I think that album, every one of us expected something crazy. She was talking like it was about to be the next coming of Jesus. She did nothing. GG's. The most anticipated album of the year. And easily the second worst album of the year for all the dogs. I'm not one to agree with the masses, but the masses have been saying for a while that you're aged. They've been saying you're washed and that you've been doing the same shit for the last few albums and it has sucked. I haven't agreed with them because it's Drake. I like Drake regardless. Whatever he puts out, I always find something in there that's quality. There was some quality, like peak quality. You got FPS. You got 8 a.m. in Charlotte. You got, what else on there was cool? Slime You Out. What Would Pluto Do? And Tried Our Best. Quality. Okay? Obviously, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, first person shooter are the max, max quality. We love those. Everything else was kind of like, right? And people have been saying that that's how you've been for the last few albums. I haven't agreed with that statement, but now I'm kind of under the impression that they're right. You've been dropping some mid lately. And I said it in the last video. I will say it again. When y'all suck or you start to be bad, just fucking quit. Just stop. You don't have to force this narrative that you didn't fall off. You don't have to force this narrative that you still got it. You're still top tier. You're still a top dog. You don't have to force music, bro. Drake has been doing this for 30 summers. Damn near 40 summers. Nigga, Degrassi is on their 5th TV show, I think. So Drake, hear me when I tell you, you need to go. Okay? And I hate saying that. You're my favorite. I don't want to say you need to go. You just said you about to take a year off. No, retire. You don't need to take a year off. A year off for what? What's the point? To see how music's going to be without you around? It's still going to kind of suck. Maybe. It might be okay. Maybe. We don't know. We got to see. But you got to figure that out on your own. You just leave. Just go. Stop forcing it. Stop forcing music. Stop forcing art. It's no point. It's really no point. You ain't dropped that album for me. Who that was for? Keep that shit next time. Don't do that again. That shit weird. But anyways, bro. That's my albums for today, bro. The bad albums. The shitty albums. Now tomorrow, I'm going to drop the top 25 best songs of the year. You only going to know if you subscribe. So subscribe. Okay? And go watch my last video. But also, get the fuck out of here. Y'all got to go. I'm tired of seeing y'all.